tourism and trekking in the valleys below Everest has grown significantly in the last 30 years.
According to the NTB, Nepal has welcomed a total of 88,680 international tourists by air in August alone.
It's the traffic jam atop the world.
Everest has never been more commercialized.
While 2023 saw the most climbers on record, it also saw the most deaths.
Well, that danger is set to get worse as global warming and human activity continues to destabilize the Khumbu Glacier.
And we just all ran out of the dining tent and looked around at all the mountains and saw avalanches coming from everywhere.
Nepal, and the Everest region specifically, have experienced a drastic increase in tourism since the early 1990s. Everest Base Camp alone sees around 60,000 tourists each year. Rapid commercialization, new technological developments, and increased pollution have changed the way of life for people who traditionally relied on the land to sustain themselves. The tourism industry around Everest is heavily criticized in Western media for its impact on the environment, the dangers it causes, and its influence on native communities. But we were curious to find out how the locals actually felt about it. So we met MG, a local mountain guide, and asked him to take us to Everest Base Camp to find out for ourselves. Our journey starts in Kathmandu, the capital city of Nepal, at 6 in the morning. We are driving to the airport to catch our flight to Lukla, the village where our adventure begins. Lukla is the largest village in the Khumbu region and the starting point for all trekkers going towards Everest. Here we finally meet our guide, MG.
Welcome to Lukla. Welcome to Nepal.
My name is Mukunda Guru, aka MG. After doing my high school, so I was just a random work seeker. So yeah, I'm just like passing my days working on a random job. And then suddenly, my friend, his name is Srishti, started a travel company. They was on a very primitive stage, so they started handling like 1 or 2, 3 people. And suddenly, he just asked me, okay, it will be a part-time job for you, right? Because you are involved in other kind of job as well. You just need to be like picking up the people, drop them to the hotel, give this kind of information to the people, right? So that's how I really started. So yeah, and then, so my company says like, okay, so if you're really interested to travel with these people, you should really travel and you'll learn so many things. Okay, randomly, all right, as an assistant, okay, I walk with them. And then, okay, so once you do 1 or 2, and then they say like, okay, it's time to be a licensed guide.
We spent the first 2 days walking through the Khumbu Valley towards the village of Namche Bazaar. Here we hope to speak to locals and ask them some of our most pressing questions.
We'll be walking onto that hill, and then behind that hill that's Namche. Okay, so from here tentatively we are start hiking up, right, and then we'll be crossing a Hillary Bridge. So after a few meters, we'll start seeing the Hillary Bridge, and we'll be crossing that bridge and then walking. So you can see a few people walking with the side trail. And mostly we'll be walking into the pine forest.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Step by step, we also got to know MG much more closely.
I live in Kathmandu, so this is my home. Living in a city, is a little bit busy, a little more hectic. But yeah, still I managed to stay here with my family. So I've got mom and dad, my 2 kids. One is just 1 year old, and my elder daughter is 10 years old now. For my kids, I want to give them a very good education. And then one of the main, what I was thinking is, right, to show the trail which I have walked, to let them feel that, like, how the walking is, how the nature is, how the life is. So I think when they grow up pretty much older, so I really like to show them the trail which I have walked by walking.
But MG is worried about the future of the trails he works on and whether his kids will get to experience the country's beauty and traditions in the same way he has.
When there's a lot of travelers comes, right, so they try to upgrade all their, like, the lifestyles and everything. So you might not be seeing much more traditions right now. As you can see, like, most of the tea houses were well built up, right, well facilitated. Now you hardly see the old tea house or old kind of structures, except some monasteries or anything else. But rather than that, one major impact for over-tourism is cultures are diminishing more, right, and then the food culture. So food is also, and more so like traditions. Traditions are getting a little more diminishing, right.
Later that day, we arrive at our tea house for the night. Leona Sanam, his wife, and their daughter Lomochiri greet us with the sort of warm welcome we would soon come to expect in Nepal.
Hello. Hello.
Momo is ready.
एक किलो मोमो यता आयो भने फेरि Okay, it's ready. Yeah.
The loss of culture and tradition concerns many people in the region. While it's partly caused by the increase in tourism and modernization, there is another powerful factor at play. The next morning, Lumochiri took us to visit her school, where we hoped to find some answers.
My name is P. Kumar Vishwakarma. I am the principal of this school. I have been working this school for 29 years. I'm really happy to be here as a head teacher.
Aside from the monasteries where the monks study, this is the only primary school in the region. Some kids walk several hours each day just to get to school, and those that live too far away stay in Namche during the week and only return home on the weekends.
Most of young people leave this region because of their education, especially. Most of people want to go to a foreign country for their settlement, for their living, and for their education as well. Yeah, I think, in my opinion, most of people need to be here. They need to promote their own birthplace, and then for culture, for economic, everything need to grow by themselves. And then they need to think that this is my birthplace. We should promote the tradition, cultural, and then, religion, everything.
The monks who live in the monasteries are pillars of the communities in the Khumbu region. They are religious and spiritual leaders, hold festivals and rituals, and give blessings to the people passing through the mountains.
찾아오고 제대로 온서 किनभने अहिले हाम्रो मेन अब पुरानो जुन अब अरू त के सम्झनु हाम्रो मेन हाम्रो त्यहाँमा चाहिँ मन्दिर रूपमा हुन्छ कि हजुर त्यो चाहिँ हाम्रो त्यहाँपछि गुम्बाको मेन नै स्पेसली पूजा हो त्यसमा पहिले हो भने एकदम रमाइलो छ हाम्रो योभन्दा 20-30 वर्ष अगाडि त हाम्रो एकदम सेवाहरू एकदम इन्जोय गर्ने अनि एकदम अहिले धेरै रमाइलो छ तर हिजो अब हाम्रो यो नोभेम्बर हिजो भर्खर निस्केको अहिले हो भने चाहिँ अब पहिलेको जस्तो राम्रो के पनि छैन किनभने हाम्रो लोकल यहीँको शेर्पाहरू पनि सबै अब बिजी भएर आउनु हुँदैन अनि जोस् अब पहिलाको सुन्दा त अहिलेको त अब हामीले त्यो पूजाहरू त रेगुलर गर्छ तर पनि पहिलेको यो छेउमै नपुग्ने जस्तो रमाइलो त्यस्तो चाहिँ छैन फेरि
In the evening, back at the tea house, we spoke to Sanam. For this interview, MG helped us with the translation, otherwise communication would have been difficult.
मेरो नाम सनम दा शेर्पा म अहिले होटल चलाइरहेको छु This is my father and Everest top. This is 190.85. 85. Yeah, 85. Yeah.
Like many other tea house owners, Sanam returns to Kathmandu in the off-season. There, he works as an electrician to supplement his income. Since he is only 30 years old, we were wondering how he perceives the loss of culture the school teacher told us about.
For them, right, so they have got a hope, and they are also, responsible for preserving all those traditions and cultures. For his daughter, right, so definitely in this area, they have got a basic school, right, so when she really need to get a higher study, she really needs to go to the city. So when she get a higher study, they want their daughter to back to the Namche and settle over here, or maybe still continue running this tea house. So they have got a pretty much kind of a very good dream to bring back her daughter, return back to Namche, and then work for Namche.
MG previously told us that one of his dreams for his children is for them to get the best education possible. But what if that means that they too would have to leave Nepal?
That's a very much serious question. If my children really wants to go abroad, I will be happy for them. Definitely from my one side of my heart says, stay in Nepal. We will do together. We can support each other. But on the other side, for their futures, or maybe for their own dream. So maybe I should let them go abroad. But I also tell them you should return back to Nepal if you get good qualifications, so that we can really work together, make it new Nepal with new ideas and concepts. So for me, I will simply accept if they really want to go abroad. Sad part, a happy part as well.
The demographic change is a big problem for the Everest region. At the same time as young people are leaving, tourists flock here in ever greater numbers. This changes how the communities operate, what they build, and what they prioritize, further speeding up the change in culture and tradition.
Before 20 years in Namche, here was a very small house and hotel as well. At that time, environment also was clean, and then so many snow in mountain also. The forest also was green. And now in Namche there are many hotels, big hotels, so many facilities.
Now, Namche, formerly just the main trading outpost in the area, is filled with cafes, souvenir shops and tea houses.
I think tourism is main income source of the people in Khumbu region. By the tourism industry, all the people can get job opportunity also. And they can survive their life easily. They can earn their money. As children also can get good education, knowledge and skill. And then tourists also provide job for the local people and poor people. And then these are the most important for the Khumbu region.
On the one hand, the tourism boom has brought great infrastructural progress to the region. Electricity in the 90s, phone calls and Wi-Fi throughout the 2000s and 2010s, and in 2017, the opening of a hospital in Namche, all greatly improved the quality of life of the people living here. On the other hand, the pileup of trash from touristic operations has led to Mount Everest being called the highest garbage dump on Earth. We were curious to learn more about this issue, so MG took us to Sagarmatha next. It is a facility that acts both as a visitor center and an upcycling station on the Everest Base Camp track. Visitors can learn about the problem of pollution, and artists convert the very trash taken from the mountain into new creations. Here we meet Tommy, one of the co-founders of the project.
So our role is to be supporters of the local organization called SPCC, Sagarmatha Pollution Control Committee, which is an NGO that has the responsibility for this whole region to handle waste. I was involved the first time when it came to waste issues back in 2011. There was a big cleanup expedition organized for Everest, because Everest got, unfortunately, a lot of negative publicity about trash on the mountain, So people were starting thinking that it was a trash mountain. It had its problem, definitely, so that cleanup expedition was basically the first start for my involvement. They brought down 9 tons from the high camps. And then we started thinking in terms, okay, what to do with all the waste? We can't leave it here.
They did manage to bring the recovered waste back to Kathmandu, but they knew that expeditions of this scale were not a viable long-term solution. They had to build real systems to tackle the problem at the root, by preventing the buildup of waste, segregating it from the get-go, and transporting it off the mountain efficiently.
When we started thinking in terms of the cleanup in 2011, which is 14 years ago, it was basically always every spring when the expeditions started coming, the media focused on garbage, increasing numbers of people, making it congested, and then of course death and success. Those were basically the messages. The last one we can't change so much because that happens every year. And congestion, it hasn't gone better. It has become even more congested because there are more and more people coming. But when it comes to the waste, so SPCC, the local organization, they are also in charge on the mountains. So that means that what they do is they coordinate with expeditions on Everest, Amadablam, Lobuche Peak, Island Peak, all base camps. They are the coordinators. So all expeditions waste goes through them. So that has made base camps much cleaner. And nowadays I would say they are clean. After a season, they don't leave it with waste in it. So that's a very good thing. Up on the mountains, it's a little bit more challenging, of course. The higher up in altitude you go, let's say, take Everest. I would say Camp 4 is still a challenge because it's very high. It's almost 8,000 meters. And unfortunately, there is still stuff being left there because it's very windy, it's very harsh, people don't really want to spend any time there. It's like a stopping point going to summit, and when you come down, everybody wants to get as far down as possible. So Camp 4 still has challenges, but they're working on it. Camp 3 maybe to a little extent also, but Camp 2 and Camp 1 has become much better, because now they are coordinating those camps. And they try to extend that to Camp 3 and 4. They have also, since 2 years now, started using drones. They take waste down. So they can now take from Camp 2 30 kilo each time, back down to base camp. So that is another implementation of a way to move the waste down and not have to use only humans.
Centralizing the cleanup operations and using drones to clean dangerous high-altitude camps makes a tremendous positive impact. However, to get the trash off the mountain down to Lukla and eventually Kathmandu, they had to think much bigger, or maybe even smaller.
So this is a carry me bag.
And this contains 1 kilo of waste all the way from upper region. So and we are helping to take 1 kilo of trash down. So every travelers, if they carry 1 kilo of trash along with them, then definitely it will help them to manage the waste from the upper regions and make more clean of this region. So we are helping them to clean this region by carrying 1 kilo of trash.
I mean, we have, as I mentioned, almost up to 90,000 if you combine both the tourists and the staff. Well, if everybody takes 1 kilo, that's 90 tons. And if they take 2 kilos, it's 180 tons. I mean, it becomes huge impact from a small effort. You've seen those waste bins on the trails. That was the first step, to offer a place where people can actually dispose. Because before those waste bins, the trails were much, much, much more trashed. Now, the second step that they're working on now is to phase out these landfills.
Before the massive increase in waste from tourism, locals used to dispose of trash in landfills and set them on fire. As they need to get rid of more and more trash, this is not a sustainable solution anymore. Part of the SBCC's plan thus involves building processing facilities on the mountain where trash gets separated straight away to make it easier to transport waste off the mountain and dispose or recycle it. This also requires the locals' help in separating the trash and using the new infrastructure as intended.
So that's part of, call it, the daily operational challenge, to build these infrastructures and then train people to use them in a good way.
Old habits are notoriously hard to change, but here too, the conservationists have found a sneaky solution to bring sustainability practices into households and businesses. And it's something we really did not expect.
By the school, all the community and parents can encourage the education, and then children also can apply at home. Everything about, conservation, environment, cleanliness. The student also can share with their parents, and then these are the supporting to the parents by the school.
After speaking to the locals up here, we of course still had to go see for ourselves. So we continued to make our way towards Everest Base Camp. And over the next 6 days of hiking, we got to see one of the most stunning places on the planet with our own eyes.
While reaching to Tukla, they will make you steep uphill.
Okay.
It will be more tiring, and then after that you'll be continuing more uphill. But this is a very perfect trail, so that we'll be doing a gradual uphill to Tukla. But when the way down, right, it will be a lot more easy for us because most of our trail will be downhill and then flat. We're gonna enjoy the trail, definitely.
I hope so.
Mostly like for at least 1.5 hours, you will be almost walking on a very flat surface. Very, very flat.
Nice.
Hurdle, Tukla Pass, a little more tiring.
This is Nupse, right? And then you see a great wall and just a cut. So from Lobuche is over here. So now we'll be seeing Nupse straightly from here, and then some portion of this ridge. But yeah, mostly we'll be seeing the Mount Nupse. Okay, so this is the Nupse, and this is Lobuche. Okay, so we can't really see the Mount Everest from Lobuche, right? But when we hike a little more further, then we can see some portion of Mount Everest. So if we pass by, only what to say, there's a small glacier, and then yeah, before reaching to Gorakshep, so we can see some portion of Mount Everest. That's how we see. Suspense.
When we arrived in Nepal, we didn't know what to expect. Is the media right? Is it actually a garbage dump? Do the locals even want tourists here? Do people have a plan for the future, or are these communities already lost? But what we heard and saw from locals along the way made us hopeful in a way we didn't expect. Hearing that tourism brings not only challenges but also opportunities to the region went against the narrative that we were familiar with. It was also incredible to find out how much the region has already improved, and that, despite what media reports will have us believe, it's not actually a garbage dump.
You can actually come to the Everest region, and I'm sorry, you're not going to find a lot of trash. It is actually quite naturally preserved.
Yeah, we are now at Everest Base Camp.
And indeed, we might have missed the base camp had it not been for the iconic rock. It's incredible to see an entire community taking action to protect its environment in a rapidly changing world. Every tea house owner, porter and school child can play a small but meaningful role. It seems to us that the real challenge now lies in making the region attractive enough for young people to want to build a life here. But maybe therein also lies the solution to many of the region's problems. If the waste management systems continue to improve, Nepali-owned businesses like MG's company create work opportunities for the next generation, and young people have both the willingness and the tools to help their home adapt and persevere, then the Everest region has the potential to become a shining example for how to balance economic development through tourism, environmental conservation, and cultural preservation. And then, maybe even the world media might change their minds. We're hopeful, and we believe it's safe to say that MG's dream of walking these trails with his children is within reach, especially if more people like him continue to take care of them.
This is one of the best privileges I ever got, right? With being with people from all around the world, taking them to the high altitude, showing them the mountain. It's kind of proud for me, right? Sharing all those beautiful scenic views as well, and then sharing a lot of knowledge, sharing a lot of information. So now, I'm living a very good life.